anything. It's the greatest find yet. Nothing compares to it.
But it's definitely something you should hear.
This is The Real Deal with Larry Lawton.
Welcome to The Real Deal with me, Larry Lawton. We have a great show on this Monday. I have a special guest. I'm going to tease the special guest. Let's put it this way. This man was in my business. He was a criminal. He's a good guy. We're going to talk to him for the whole show. And you're going to get a different intake. And, just talking to the young man, and I'm saying young because I'm an old fuck, is beforehand is, we're from the same neighborhood, kind of same neighborhood. Grew up a little different, but you guys need to hear a great story. And he's had a movie and all that kind of stuff. Before we get started, everybody, check us out right here. Gangster Redemption. The book goes all over the place. It's been sold all over the world. Does great. Best-selling book. Gangster Redemption. Check it out. We want to thank our sponsors. Our main sponsor is Oliva Cigars. And Oliva Cigars is the third largest cigar company in the world. And they are our sponsor. And they are my supplier of my cigars. Crooked Diamonds. Crooked Diamonds are sold. I just sent a box over to somewhere. I mean, we sent so many overseas now that, you just kind of get used to it now. But I'm also going to smoke a cigar on today's show, and it's called an Aliadejos. Aliadejos, so from Cuba. And the Cubans, these are Nicaragua. These are Honduras. These are. But it says Cuba, Cuba cigars. But I know they were made in Honduras. Because you can't make them. You can't import Cuban cigars and sell them here. You can't do that. But you can check that out, man. And, okay, let's get on with the show. We're going to have a good show today, everybody. I got in the studio. I got Jose Vega. Jose Vega, also Picasso. He actually stole a Picasso painting and other paintings. He got caught. And when he got caught, he ended up, He was in jail not long. About a year and a half he did in jail on his Picasso case. Is that correct, Picasso? Jose, welcome to the show. Into the mic, buddy. There you go. You don't worry about the cigars. We'll get them later. Grab one.
Thank you for having me on the show, Larry. I really appreciate it. And I did 18 months in Rikers in Nassau County, bounced back and forth.
So when you were in Rikers for the 18 months, that was in 2011? 12?
It was 2011. Yeah.
Well, you could pull that mic right to you, too. There you go. Just get comfortable. Okay, man, I was there in 1978. My first.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm an old man. Damn. That's when it was crazy. I mean, off the charts, if you remember that. Back then, it was the biggest jail in the world. It had 30,000 inmates back then. You know, right?
Wow.
30,000. I think they're down now to whatever. I heard they're really trying to shut that place down. And they should. That place is a fucking zoo, man.
But where are you going to put those people?
I thought about that. Obviously, right now it's a revolving door. They just go in there and it's in and out now. But I think there has to be a spot where we could put people. First of all, I can't stand any penal island. You know what I mean? Like, how bad are we as a country or even a state or a city? Did you ever have an island? Roosevelt Island. And you think about it. People don't know what Rikers Island is. Rikers Island is an island right in the East fucking River. And, we used to see it. I was from the Bronx and Brooklyn, and you too. You're from Brooklyn. Let's get here. Let me explain Jose's case first, and he will, Jose, and I started reading up on his case. Jose ended up being an art thief. Now, he didn't do it violently, which is pretty cool. I'm happy to hear that. But he was painting houses. We got a lot of questions for this thing. This will be a good show. So you can let the audience know. This is good. You got a good shot to let people know what happened, where you are, what you're doing, and why you want to do the right thing by your kids today. Like I always say that. So you robbed like 6 paintings, I think they have in total.
At that time that I got popped, yeah, I actually had 3 paintings in the back of my Benz, and I had another. I was wanted for another 3 paintings.
Okay, so and you were painting houses. Was your painting houses the MO to get into a house to steal the paintings?
Yeah, painting houses was my 9 to 5. I worked for a couple of German guys.
Okay, you worked for a couple of in Brooklyn?
In Upper East Side.
Oh, well, yeah. Wow. Okay,
And
there's the
West
money.
Side and the
Up East Side back
Hamptons.
then was big time money, right?
But we had the thing is, we only work for the 1%. We work for the 1%, the ultra, the cherry on top. You know, where they flew us to to West Palm Beach, the Hamptons.
So they would actually just fly you in to paint. I mean, regular painting, right? We're not talking about like art painting or anything, are we?
We're talking about like wood graining, faux finishes, really nice stuff. You know, high end. Where let's
Oh,
say a
yeah.
room of this size would cost you 15, 20 grand.
Just to paint this room.
Yeah, to paint the room. You know, something nice.
Now,
maybe glazed.
obviously, the paint itself's got to be the highest end paint and all that you're working with.
Absolutely, but it's the finish. It's the designer finish. You know, it's putting stages, maybe like a lighter back coat and then a darker front coat, or gold leafing, maybe adding a little border around the ceiling or around the basement.
So whatever they want, they
Baseboard.
get.
Whatever they
Obviously,
want, they get.
like you said, you're
Absolutely.
talking about literally billionaires.
We're talking about people that have a full staff of housekeepers, 6 housekeepers in one apartment. We're
Oh.
talking about billionaires.
Yeah, yeah. So you were talking about, I just came back from New York. Nick and I, my sister, we went to New York. I did the highest podcast ever. I did it on the 102nd floor of the Empire State Building. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you know the Empire State Building, New York.
Hell
I did it
yeah.
on the top. Anyway, well, we were looking out, and they got that new building over, they call it on 50-something on West Coast near Trump Tower. Hundreds, 95 stories high, and it's all high end. It's the largest and biggest, tallest residential apartment building in the world.
It's
And
Billy Nesro.
right, it's you know what I mean then.
Hell yeah.
So did you paint in places like that?
That was all we did. That was all we specialized.
Were you in
in.
that building?
No, that building was way after I retired.
Okay.
Yeah. So
and
I
now,
had moved
how did
on.
you get into that? Well, no, how did you get into painting? I mean, obviously you're a street kid. Let's go to your upbringing. You're born in the Bronx, New York.
No, I was born and raised on 57th Street in Brooklyn, New York.
Okay, Bronx.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I was on the Bronx. Okay, Brooklyn. So you're 57th. We were just talking
Yeah.
about that near where my mom was, in Maimonides Hospital. But so you were born in Brooklyn,
Yep.
and your age is 52 now.
Yep.
Okay, so you end up, you're a street kid,
I
typical
was-
Brooklyn kid.
The streets raised me. That's where I was raised.
Did
on the
you
streets.
have parents?
I had a mother that was there for me, but my father was not.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
the thing is, Larry, is when I was 6, a very traumatic incident happened when I was a kid, and it skewed the way I see the world. You know, and that's the biggest. That's the biggest thing I'm trying to bring to the world is I'm trying to make you understand that I'm messed up. I understand I'm messed up, but it began when I was 6. It was the tragic event of something really bad that happened to me, and this was my way of coping with it and dealing with it, is to make sure that my mother was never.
Bring that mic
abused.
right to you. I don't want anybody to miss this on you. Yeah, bring it and turn it right to you like I am. See it? There you go. Yeah, you don't be said, bring it. There you go. Now go right into it. Yeah, I want to get this good.
There we go. Better?
Yeah. I just want you to
Alright.
get, speak. So these are good, because I was abused at 11 years old by a priest. And that was a traumatic incident. A lot of psychologists say that's what fucked me up for my life. I don't know if it's true or not. I try not to blame anything. I blame myself eventually because there's good and bad and everything. I'm non-religious at all, but I don't look at people. Like, listen, I was abused by a priest. And back then it was probably more common than people know. But I don't hate everybody, over that. I dislike religion. I've read a lot of the Bible. I've been in prison so long. So whatever traumatic incidents, I hope you understand, and I want you to feel this way, is everything that happened to me, Jose, I turned it around, and I try to make a positive out of it so I can educate somebody else that it happens to, that your life is not over. I got out of prison at 46 years old, penniless, in debt. And then, look, like you say, you can work hard, you can do things, you can learn, and it's about determination. It's about never quitting. And I want you to show them that. And I think that's whatever incident that happened to you, and that's your choice if you want to tell everybody. I decided, it took me many years. I never came out of my abuse until I wrote my book in 2012. So that's how long. I mean, psychologists knew it, certain like that. But I didn't come out publicly until I wrote my book, and it was hard, man, and it's still hard sometimes. And it, it gives you you get the anger. There's so much that goes through us, our emotions, and we're street kids. So when you're a street kid, you only know how to handle things one way.
Yeah, you said it right
And,
there.
and now how you lash out on that is going to be up, a lot of things. And I get it, I really do. So that's why I'm just saying. But I'd like you to go ahead. So you grew up in Brooklyn like we did.
Yeah, I grew up in Brooklyn, and my mother worked right there on 3rd Avenue at Unita Doll Factory, and I had 2 older sisters and a younger brother. So it wasn't easy. The hustle was real, and after my father left,
What were you hustling? Were they just like two parents working 2 jobs to make ends meet kind of deal?
no, he was never there.
Oh, your dad wasn't. Okay.
Yeah, he was violent. He was verbally abusive, physically abusive. I mean,
It's so common. I hate to say that. I hate it.
it's bad. It was bad. It was bad.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. Yeah, keep it going.
But my mother tried. My mother did what she could do, and the thing was that the moment that I could, at the age of 10, I got myself a job. I started helping her out. I didn't want to see another man come into our lives and physically abuse her or sexually abuse her. My mother was my world. I mean, who doesn't love their mother?
Is
I
she
mean,
still around?
Yes, she is. I
Good for
talk to
her, man.
every-
I hope she's so proud of you right now.
She really is. She
Good.
really
That's a
is.
great feeling. As you know, I take care of my mom here. And
Absolutely.
she's
I
90.
do.
And I think that's
But then, Larry, am I right? Would I be wrong to say that not everybody grew up like us? While I was working at 10 years old, most of my friends didn't even get a job till they were like 18, 19 years old.
if
You
they
know
got
what
a
I'm
job, they were either
At
criminal
all.
or shit. You know that. 100%. I mean, you're showing. Listen, I listen to a lot of stories, and the qualities of trying to make. Yeah, 10 years old. Most kids fucking, they're still in half diapers. And I don't mean that, but you are fucking going out thinking I got to get a job for help my mom. That's a fucking character. That's great. So you do that. You keep it going.
When I got the thing though, once I got the job, I realized very early on that I had a little quirk. Here I am, a 10-year-old paper boy working for the New York Daily News, delivering papers at like 5 in the morning. And when life got stale, I would do some stuff like I did this Ponzi scheme at the age of 10, where I would. They give you $5 if you come up with the names of new customers. So I went around knocking on doors and hustling, and people like, I don't want the paper, slamming the doors, not answering the doors. So I figured it out. I went around, I took the names off the mailboxes, wrote down the addresses. Every week, 5, next week, 10, next week, 15. Before you know it, it was a Ponzi scheme, and it was like out of control. So at 10 years old, I set up these 2 Italian guys. They were both my bosses. And I said to one guy, I said, yo, that guy's talking shit about you. And I said the same thing to the other guy. Unfortunately, they got into it, but I still had to end up quitting because the Ponzi scheme was over. All those customers eventually did say that they did not want that they did not want the newspaper.
Right. So, hey, you just reminded me, like, when we were young, that was a big deal, the paper. I mean, every one of our friends had the route, and we used to go collecting twice on people. You remember collecting, and we'd catch the money, the $3.50, because we'd go buy beer and shit in the.
Wait, you were a paper boy?
No, my buddy Runt was, and his family had the whole neighborhood. The paper route. So we were kids. Now they were a big family, like 8 kids. And what they did was we would actually go around, and we had no money. We'd gamble, steal, and doing everything. Man, we got to get some beers. And said, okay, go up to a house. Collecting. The parent come out. It's the O'Donnell family. Give them the $3 or $8, whatever the hell it was, collecting. The kids used to collect different times when the mother would be there, the father wasn't there, trying to get stuff. You reminded me so much about that paper. And you said you thought about a Ponzi scheme. And our life could be a little bit kind of like parallel. I was 12 years old working with the mob. I was doing football tickets. Remember football tickets?
Yeah.
The parlay cards
Yes,
that
I
you buy
do.
3, you put $1. I'm getting 25. I'm going the whole neighborhood, and I had the whole neighborhood locked up. the phone man, the cop, the fucking sanitation worker, and I knock on their door and I'll give them the sheets, pick them up on Thursday nights because Friday I had to put them in, and they'd put $5 or $2 on to bet 4 teams, but I'm getting 25%. So that's how I got that's my start of my criminal career. So, but go ahead. Now, so you did that. So you did the Ponzi scheme.
You give me the chills.
Because you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, because it sounds like we were growing up right next to each other. The street's the street. Once you get to know the street, it's an addiction too. You hear it. It's like
and
music.
it's quick. It's fast. It's hard money. You get paid every week. Ain't nobody fucking give me a paycheck. Go here, do this. Give me the fucking money. Then we fucked that up too. Because we're gambling and doing drugs and everything else. They're fucking the streets.
But did you ever do it for the adrenaline?
Oh, all the time. That's what it was.
That's what it was.
It was more of the beat. You wanted to win. You wanted to win. And what I meant win is that like you said, it's such a when I rob all my jewelry stores, I rob 20 millions and millions. It was that adrenaline that there's no better high. I've done every drug in the book. Every fucking drug in the book. And I'm a pro drug guy. But fucking there's no high better than I'm sure we're gonna talk about your robberies, but keep on your childhood career. You start at 10.
Dude, after the start at 10, after the Ponzi scheme, I never stopped working. I always kept up the work. But it was always not for new sneakers. It was just to put groceries in our refrigerator. I got a little brother. He's not little anymore, but he was little at the time. His name was Danny. And 2 older sisters, and it was just a constant hustle. We'd wake up in the morning, the refrigerator's empty, and you go into school starving. It's like, what are you supposed to do?
And they didn't have these lunch programs and all that shit they have today.
Nothing. None of that. That was just, it was amazing.
So you didn't go on a school bus. There was no school buses. We went on the trains and shit.
You said it. Train. That was it. Good luck.
Subway, man.
Here's your pass.
Bus pass. A fuck nickel. It was a nickel.
Yes, it was. It was a nickel.
It reminded me a lot of that. You're bringing back memories too. So all right, let's get it going. So you start like 10 years old. You're hustling. Do you get caught on that Ponzi scheme? Because it's a Ponzi scheme. These people aren't getting the paper.
I get caught by the main owner. He comes to
of the
house.
paper.
Yeah, his name was
of the route.
Ricky Picasso. Yeah, the paper route. He's a big guy just like you. He came over the house, and I was inside. I didn't come out. And that was it. He walked away. It was done. But that's the thing, though, is that was the tasting of the meat. I already tasted the flesh. That was it. Doing something nasty, doing something naughty felt good.
And you're making money. You put money. When they used to say crime don't pay, I said, fuck you, it pays.
That's what I said.
It paid. Obviously, I paid for a lot. I paid dearly at the end. But losing my kids, losing everything else, going away, taking every dime, take everything from you. That consequence at the end was hit me really bad. Obviously, some people it doesn't. Listen, I tell a lot of people, oh, you think he's just a pure motherfucker? He's a billionaire? He probably started out with fucking, cutting people's fucking, electric so he could save it. Whatever the fuck he did. Not everybody's pure, and I'm okay with that.
No.
It's what they do to change their lives to get better so they don't screw it. I never want to screw people. I screwed a lot of fucking companies and insurance companies and shit. People are people. I never fucked with we called them innocents. Now, if you were in my business, you were a drug dealer, you were a criminal, and you were fucking doing, you didn't want to run across me in those days. And that was just the way it was. But I didn't go after a fucking, a regular dude. You know what I'm saying? But if you get in the loan sharking business, you owe money, or you try to rob, from one of our guys or whatever, and they called me, I laid guys' arms on curbs. I was snapping. I was just a bad guy. And I'm not proud of that. I really am not. Now I look at things, and I look at it as, that's how I justify my life, I guess. I didn't hurt. I was a bad person, man. I fucking I put guns in people's fucking face, tied up over 100 people. The fear, it's not right. Now, I make amends the only way you can, try to help people do the right thing. And I don't believe in wasted people, like yourself. We grew up that way. But look at you trying to do the right thing now. Oh, tell your story that you can change, you can make it, you can do whatever. You got yourself a movie coming out. We're going to talk about that. But go to your career. I want you to tell the whole career.
All right. Well, after I did the Daily News thing for a while, I also worked for the New York Post.
And now this is at 10 and 11, 12.
10, 11, 12, 13. I was stocking stuff at a grocery store just to provide food. This is all for food. This is not for fancy clothes, none of that. So I was hustling, and my brothers and sisters, they were home. They were okay, you know.
Were they hustlers too or no?
No, they weren't.
They didn't have that in them. No, it's true. I have 5 brothers and sisters, and they're all normal. Well, I don't even my brothers. You know, they're all normal. I hate to say black sheep.
Makes 2 of us, brother.
So Kia got that. So they're normal. You're out there going after things.
I'm going after everything for the hell of it. Like literally when I turned 17 years old, okay, I moved out to Jersey, and I got a legitimate job. That's the thing is life is so monotonous for me. I got a legitimate job working security at the hospital, and it was just a dead spot in life, and I felt, you know, like I needed something up. So I went and I had a couple of limos pick up my friends in New York. My friends, all little kids. I'm 17, they're 15. So I drive out there, go pick them up in the limo, roll up on the block. All my friends get in the limo, drive out to Atlantic City, take them out to Wildwood. This is a free trip. This is rubber checks. You know what I'm saying? So we spent the whole weekend on the Jersey Shore. Drive them back to New York, come back to Pennsylvania, and life was just so monotonous. So I would do stuff like. And this was just for shits and giggles.
So you said Pennsylvania. So you eventually moved from New York City or Brooklyn. You guys moved to Pennsylvania?
No, that was, we've lived in Brooklyn. We moved to Jersey, Wildwood, New Jersey.
No, but you said you took them, and then you went back to Pennsylvania.
I mean, I meant to say
okay,
Jersey,
yeah. Okay,
yeah.
good. Pennsylvania.
I meant to say Jersey, yeah.
Okay.
But then shortly after I came back from the limos, you know, like I said, this is not a monetary thing. This is the adrenaline rush. I worked at the hospital, so what I did was I copied everyone's car keys in my unit. In the dietary unit, I copied everyone's car keys. So I had access to anybody's car if I wanted to take it at any given point. I never really did take any of the cars except for one, a security car. I took it just to do it. And then I gave it to one of my friends in New York. You know, this wasn't monetary.
So you didn't take it to go take it to a chop shop like I did?
No, I did not.
All right. Well, it doesn't make you any better now.
No, but I'm saying it was, you know, when I look back at it, it was just a thrill. It was, can I do it? And I did it, you know, and it felt good.
So you had the forethought to copy all these keys.
All of them.
Now, did you take anything out of the cars? Did you rob anything? You know.
You see, I didn't even go into the cars except for one car that I drove to New York. It was a Ford Taurus, and when I got it to New York, my friends. After I was ready to leave and go back to Jersey, I gave it to my friends, you know, like a gift, you know, here you go.
Now, they knew it was a hot car, right?
Oh, forget about it. You know what I'm saying?
Typical New York.
Forget about it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, dude.
Well, no, I'm letting the audience know. They're thinking, okay, you take it.
Yeah, we're all street kids.
But you're also doing that. You're 17 now. You were working. Even when I went in the Coast Guard at 17 years old to get away, I fucking was doing hustles there. We stole my first bales of marijuana. We fucking do all fucking, you know. Then when I got higher in rank, before I got hurt, I had access to the Navy, like where the ships buy their shit. I was sending it back to Brooklyn. I mean, I figured out fucking scams, is what I mean. No matter where I was. So even if I tried to go legit, I couldn't. It was like, it's a fucking draw. And I don't know, I think age, you know, changes you a lot. Of course, time, prison, of course, a lot of things. But now you're 17 now. Did you ever get in the drug game?
No, never.
Why? Because that was so prevalent back then. And everybody got into it. I didn't either. That's why I'm asking what was your...
You see, that's the thing is I lived on 57th Street, and I had 2 crack houses, one on the top of the block, one on the bottom of the block. And we didn't smoke. We didn't do alcohol. We didn't smoke weed. None of that stuff. It just didn't occur to us. We were just good kids. I mean, good kids that, you know.
No, listen.
You know.
You want the truth, Jose, and I'll tell you this now.
Drop the beating every once in a while.
You're a good. Even kids who are fuck ups, I have a shirt I sell on my channel merch. It's called "I don't believe in bad people. I believe in bad choices." So even those kids who are fucking up, I don't give up on them. I believe first of all they're making bad choices. Nobody knows what people's inner, walking their steps. I don't judge people. Listen, man, I come from the fucking streets, so we didn't have. We were talking on a podcast the other day, Friday's podcast about I had to play basketball in fucking slippers because my dad's laid off. We couldn't fucking afford sneakers.
Damn.
I mean, that wore a pair of sneakers out, and it wasn't. And I'm talking about dollar Keds, fucking in the big bin. You remember the I don't know, Corvette, fucking Converse, the little leather bullshit. They're nice now, but you remember the shit they had back in the? We used to call them Skippies. I had a buddy who.
Oh, Skippies. Those are different than the Converse.
Oh, of course they were. But hey, listen to this, Jose. It got so bad. One of our friends, we go bowling at Fiesta Lanes. And he comes out with the bowling shoes on, and I go, man, you got the bowling shoes on. He goes, they're better than my shoes. And he took them. When you switch the shoes at the counter? So you understand what we're talking about.
Yeah, you know what? You brought up the bowling alley. We used to go to the bowling alley, steal the balls, and throw them down the block.
You were just a mischief kid.
Yeah, we just.
We were always looking for money or some shit. But I grew up in a very gangster neighborhood, all mobsters. And so, you looked at that Cadillac and that fucking nice shit and these, gold chains. And I'm talking about big mobsters. So you aspired to be that. That's what like a lot of kids who come from the hood, they'll see the drug dealer and they'll see the head guy come around in a nice car and give out the bags. And then, to his runners. And then, man, I want to get to that. So they become a runner. And before you know it, they're hooked in the drug game. And then the conspiracy. I can go on and on and how that fucks your life up. But you went into the crime game like I did. This is why this is a little bit interesting to me. So you're 17 years old. You're working odd jobs, whatever you had to do to make money.
Yeah.
And hustling.
Yep.
What were you hustling then?
No, I wasn't. Besides the little dumb shit that I was doing, I was legit. I was on the up and up. It always just felt like this. I don't know. Life is like. Every day it's just the same thing, and then all of a sudden you wake up, you're like, I can't do this anymore. I need to change it up. I feel like I'm a walking dead person here.
And you're never into drugs?
Never.
Or alcohol or something.
Well, that's the thing is I've always had such overwhelm. Now I smoke weed, but I've always had such overwhelming anxiety. So it's always like this monster that's inside you that wants to do something. Did I just lose you?
No, yeah. No, I got you, man. I got you.
Anxiety was tremendous, even as a kid. Look, I used to go into Maimonides Medical Center gasping for air, asthmatic. They used to give me one injection and say, go wait in the waiting room. Before the injection kicked in, I would be telling my mother, I got to get the hell out of here. And I would leave. I was a little kid. I was like 7 years old, gasping for air.
Did you have claustrophobia? Did you have a lot of that? Like anxiety, like you said, where you feel like having a heart attack?
No, not panic attacks, but anxiety and asthma. The anxiety was tremendous. Like the anxiety was something that's like a beast.
Oh, so okay. Now at this time you're 18 years old. You're looking for something to do? How do you get into the painting, or how do you get to there? Unless you got more crimes there. Did you commit any more little stuff? Thinking about how to make money.
Well, there was probably a ton of other little things I've always done. I mean, I've always done the check thing.
So you were a check kiter.
Yeah.
We call them check kiting, yeah. So you'd get, back then, you could do that. They can't do that today, obviously, because, it's so hard because of the timing. And you're definitely getting caught. Today, check kiting is so hard because first of all, they'll hold the checks. And I'm talking bad. I remember when I got a check thing, but I took the check right out because the motherfucker owed me money. So I was taking $9,900 because, $10,000, they report it. So I said, fuck this, and he owed me a lot of money in a motherfucking security card company I owned with somebody. And we had a fucking whole scam fucking set up. I had 100 employees. And then fucking, this motherfucker's not giving me my money. And I said, I'll get my motherfucking money. Anyway, then I ended up burning his business down. That's all. It's in the book, too. But so you doing the check thing. So always thinking, I know how I can. At the end of the week, if I need food, I need money, I know I can write a check. I can do bullshit. I can go to this place, this check cashing store. Fuck this one.
I used to walk right into the bank and cash it.
At a young age, they weren't suspicious?
Dude, since the age of 15, I used to walk right into the bank. Right into the bank.
At 15, I mean, what made you? That's a skill because one, you had the nerve. Two, you had to like try to look as old as you can. I mean, what's a fucking 15-year-old kid coming into a bank with a whatever amount check, $100 check? I don't know how many. How much was the checks?
Usually the checks are small amounts, $200-300.
Right. So they're not. The alarm's not going. You're not going with a $30,000 check.
But also the checks were not made out to me, and the checks were. I mean, they were just those checks made out to like famous people, like William McKinley or something like that. High school.
Oh, well, yeah, but McKinley, of course. But now you got me saying, okay, so you got this checks right, and how would they catch you? You got ID?
No, I wouldn't. I would walk right in there, and I would sign the check, and I would give it to her, and no ID or anything.
And she would just cash it.
Dude, I've been doing this for a while. This whole thing is a psychology game. Okay.
Okay, well, tell me, because here what you're saying is, if this lady is going to cash a check for William McKinley, no ID, no nothing, she's going to lose her job when they find out there's no such fucking William McKinley. You didn't check an ID. They're going to look at the cameras. They're going to do a whole bunch of shit. Unless you had the people.
No, this is a psychology game.
Go ahead.
Here's a psychology game. I'm going to show it to you. All right?
Explain it into the mic.
Here's a psychology game. I give you 2 stacks of cash in checks. Right?
Gotcha.
Only checks, not cash. Just 2 stacks of cash in checks. And then, as you're accepting that deposit, just before you're done, I say, oh, I forgot. I need to make a withdrawal. And because I already gave you all that cash, in your mind, you're already thinking, I don't got to ID this guy. Look at all this cash he's depositing. And I was very successful with that. Until this one time, this woman said, wait 1 minute. And that was it. I walked out of there, and I knew cops were on the way.
And they were?
Yeah.
Did they catch you?
No.
Okay, you were gone. So you would give an X amount of checks, $2,000, $3,000 in checks you got to deposit. Now, was it into an account that you knew or had or someone had or something?
It was into a random account.
Anybody's. You didn't give a fuck.
I didn't give a fuck.
And you made the checks out or no?
The checks weren't mine. I would write the checks out, and I would deposit them into a check that did not, into an account that did not belong to me.
Right. So it's an account that's in that bank. So they look and, oh, they got money in the bank.
Exactly.
And here's this money that's going into the account.
Exactly.
Okay, like as if you were a grocery store. They're now thinking, oh, this kid works at the bodega up in the corner. He's here. The boss said to go down there and deposit all the checks.
Yep.
Now he fucking takes the checks. Oh, shit, my boss wanted me to get $200. Can you get the $200? And she gives you a fucking withdrawal slip. You fucking sign some bullshit.
I don't even sign. Literally, it's psychology, brother. It's psychology. I don't do it with a gun. I do it with my mind.
No. Listen, the biggest crimes in the world are done with your fucking mind. Listen, I learned that, I did it with a gun. And I learned that the real fucking criminals are the insurance companies. Or the real criminals are the people who just did it with a fucking pen. Obviously,
true.
The Bernie Madoffs and everybody I can go on and on about. But so now you're doing that always. Now, that's always in the back of your mind that you got that.
Yes.
And who taught you that?
I got that on my own. That was just self-taught. But also, you see, the thing was, everything was out of necessity. When I was 17, I also needed a job out in Wildwood, so I couldn't get work in Wildwood, so I went to Atlantic City. Now, to get a job in the casinos at the resorts, you have to have an ID, a Casino Control Commission ID. And I was too young. So what I did is I made my own. I forged my own Casino Control Commission, and it went. Yeah,
you got a card. You saw money. You copied it. We did a lot of forgeries back then.
No, mine was, dude. If you see mine, forget about it.
It's like a normal.
I got it in the car. Forget about it.
Oh, really? You still kept this? It's a memento. Yeah, good for you.
I'm not a serial killer, but I tell you, sometimes it brings back good memories. I mean, I didn't do it. This wasn't a capital gain. I just wanted to work.
Right. No, you're doing things that are not going to put red flags up for people to, oh, shit, he's going to be stealing. It's a great thing because a fake ID, fake everything, that's where you real. See, if I caught you when you were younger and doing good shit like that, I'd have made you a real fucking criminal and we would have fucking robbed like $10 million. Because I would have said, this kid's good. We get him in the back end. He worked for 6 months. Before you know it, this fucking guy's with me. And before you know it, we're fucking walking out with the fucking, the armored car full of fucking money. I mean, that's just the way I thought.
Can you still get me in?
Nah. I laugh, but that's the way we thought. So now you did all that because
really
now you brought
is.
Atlantic City up. I was a very big gambler in Atlantic City. I was making millions. I used to fly back then. It was the helicopters. I used to go to the Taj Mahal. I used to be on the Maharaji floor, 49th floor, Taj Mahal, because I was a big gambler. You know what I mean? And fucking dropped fucking more millions. I dropped $250,000 in 2 weeks. $250,000. And that's cash. I used to put it in the cage and try to wash it, and a lot of crazy shit. But anyway, so now you're making money. I mean, you figured out ways. You go down and get to. Now you're working in Atlantic City?
Yeah, I was working in Atlantic City. Yeah,
you got to go right through. I know I'm a pain.
I was working as a waiter at the Resorts Casino International for about a year, and then I went back to New York. But you see, that's when my career really took off because. At that point, I met this Irish-Italian beautiful girl with green eyes and long, dirty blonde hair. We fell in love. We got married. We had a kid. And I started looking for a job in the New York Times, which was very weird because you don't look for a job. A painter doesn't look for a job in the New York Times.
But you're now you're a painter.
Not yet. Well,
you're not yet. That's why I want to get to where you're a painter because this is the basis of when you become. Right.
So I picked up the New York Times, which I as a kid I grew up reading the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal.
Wow, what the fuck?
The teachers, I had some great teachers. The teachers used to say to me, "Only stupid people read the Daily News and New York Post, and smart people read the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times." So I started reading at a very young age. I think it was like 15, 14.
And I was a post in New York Daily News, of course.
And then I came out in the Wall Street Journal front page. So.
Well, no, I got that. Well, we're going to get to that. We got to get there. So if you're looking for a job in the Wall Street Journal?
Yeah, I was looking for a job.
In the New York Times, right? Any job.
And I found a painter's job.
Okay.
Which I thought was very unusual because those jobs don't get posted in the New York Times. That's more for stock traders and so on and so forth.
Who read the paper? We didn't have money to fucking buy the paper. Are you kidding me?
You hit the nail on the head. Who buys a paper? A kid buys a paper. It's like, what? Who buys that? But
and how old are you at this time?
19.
Okay, you're 19. You find you got the New York Times. You're looking for a job, and it comes a painter.
Yes.
And you apply.
I apply.
And get it.
Get it.
What did it entail? You're not a painter. I mean, you didn't never painted. Did they say that or what?
No, I had painted. I had painted on a summer job a few times. I had done a couple of side jobs.
I painted when they made you in fucking community service. Paint the fucking subway. Remember that?
But the thing was, I was real about it, Larry. I went straight up to these guys and I said, "Look, I don't know what I don't know. I'm willing to learn. I'm not gonna, I don't know everything." And dude, that same day I was on Park Avenue, 770 Park Avenue.
You were talking like that. But let everybody know out there who listens to the show. He's talking about the game Monopoly, fucking the Boardwalk, Park Place. Those are the fucking mega New York City. I mean, you're there. You're at the fucking pinnacle of power and money.
If you're not making over $250 million, you are poor. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you're not making $250 million, you are considered poor. I would not rob you if you did not have at least $250 million.
Well, thank God you're not going to rob me because I don't get no money. Right. So go ahead. So you now are working painting.
Yes.
The guy you hire, he hires you. Says, "Okay, kid, listen to me. This is a high-end job. Don't they run a security check on you or a background check?"
No, they don't.
Wow, that to me is the mistake. You got those kind of people, and you're a kid from the fucking hood. I mean, they trusted you, had a sweet talk game and all that. Of course, that's a street game, I call it. And I try to teach people the best skill you could have is communication skills. Everything else is secondary.
The street game is ultra. It's the ultimate game. I mean, psychology. It's everything. It's
100%.
If I don't talk to you and I can't convince you, then I'm gonna make you do it. So,
right.
You know what I'm saying?
100%. And obviously that's why the old saying is either do it with a gun or your tongue. But now you end up conning these guys to hire you on a crew. Are you on a crew with a couple other guys or
It was one, two. There was three other guys.
three other guys? Now, were they experienced, older guys? What were they?
Experienced painters, yes, they were, and they were a couple of years older.
So they were in the mid to late 20s.
Yeah, right in there, maybe 29 and 32, and maybe the bosses were probably in their late 40s.
Right. Now, these bosses, obviously, they got the juice to get accounts that are money. For whatever reason, how they did it is great.
They inherited the business from their dad.
Okay. So now they inherited a great business of painting high-end, high-end, billionaires' houses.
Yes.
So let's call it that. So now you're in, now this is at 19. Now you walk into a fucking place like this, I guarantee. I mean, I come over, my parents bought a bungalow and they made the fucking attic 2 bedrooms. You know, I mean, you know the fucking way that is. So here we are, Jose, and you are in now going to Park fucking Avenue, you know, Billionaires Row, and going in these places. You got to be like, what the fuck do I got to do to get here?
It was amazing, brother. It was truly amazing. And let me tell you something. Being from the street, one of the things that the street teaches you is sometimes the smartest guy in the room is the guy who's sizing everybody up, who's quiet, who's watching. That's who.
Absolutely.
That was who I
That's
was.
Nick for me.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Dude, I walk into this apartment and they got maybe 400 or 500 pieces of artwork.
Right.
Pieces. I'm talking about.
Yeah, picture. Like, that's a piece. That's a piece. That's yeah.
Van Gogh, Debuffet, Jeff Koons, Pablo Picasso.
Now, how do you? Okay, now you're painting. How long before you paint do you start thinking? Yeah.
First day.
First day thinking you say, I gotta rob something here?
Dude, it was like seeing 10 pounds of meth on the table. It was like, dude, I saw all that artwork and it was just something. It was like a kid in a candy store because I was invisible. You see, the 1% sees past you, they don't see you. Most people can't understand it. Like, people think, people will throw a joke my way and they'll be like, oh, if you come to my house, you're going to rob me. I'm like, you're poor. You know, I don't know where you come from. I've lived with the 1% my entire life. I've worked around them, ate with them, associated with them, been flown around the country with them. I'm currently with them. So things don't change for me. You know, I'm gifted in the fact that I like what I do and I know how to get what I want.
Well, you're a con man. That's normal. That's what we all were. I mean, we're streets. That's how we survived. You know that.
That's our resume.
I walked into a jewelry store in a fucking suit and knew how to fucking get them all to calm. And then it was, I could flip on a fucking dime, become the animal that I am, and they're all down on the floor, and I wipe out the whole fucking store. Millions of dollars. Boom, $1 million. Boom, gone. The whole store. Now, it's that con game to get in there to do it and calm it and do everything and have that wherewithal where most people don't, where you know how to control it and you can see what they're seeing, the person is seeing. And I get what you just said. But your first day on this painting job, you say, I got to rob one of these motherfuckers. How do you know about art? I mean, we don't know art. I mean, nobody in my fucking neighborhood, you tell them art. You know what art to them is? Babe Ruth's fucking baseball card. I mean, you know, or a fucking, you know, basketball. I was a memorabilia collector too. But so it was money, big money back in memorabilia. Now, obviously, this is at a different fucking level. Art's a different level. People don't know that.
But the thing is that this is what you read about in the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal. You know, this is like literally. When I bought the New York Times and Wall Street Journal, I didn't pick and choose the ads I read or anything that was in the newspaper. I would just literally sit on the train while I'm going to school, and I'd read the Wall Street Journal, New York Times from cover to cover, just because I wanted to educate myself. I wanted to learn, and subconsciously, I was picking up about the art, and the art was just amazing. It's like, forget about it. I couldn't get into it.
No, you can, because I tell everybody, I tell young people when I speak around the country, you know, take a newspaper, read it from cover to cover, and you become what they call well-read. That means you can discuss sports, you can discuss finances, you can discuss lifestyles, you can discuss the market, And I do that. I did that for most of my whole life. I used to read the paper cover to cover. And when you read the paper, you're going to know about world affairs. You know what's going on internationally. You're going to know about finances. You're going to know about a sports team. So if you go into a party, you can join a conversation, not be an expert on every one of them, but you are well read, and they get to say, "Oh, the kid's smart," or whatever it is. Whether you don't know real shit about it, you don't know how to fucking, how it drops and why it drops and all the fucking GDPs and everything else we do know about now because we have money. You do that. So where you go in there, you're well read, and these other three guys that you're with, that they know that, or I mean, you get to know them, you eat lunch, have a sandwich. You're sizing everybody up. I know that. You're sizing the whole the doorman when you go in, the waiters, the people, the butlers.
Everyone. I'm sizing everyone up. You know, the thing was that I always see a crime from the beginning to the end. Let's say from the beginning is I get away with it, and the end is a possibility I get caught. But if there's three of us in the room, which person is more likely to get accused? And it's never me because I'm
an innocent kid who just got there.
I'm a painter that shows up in a dress shirt every morning, a different dress shirt every morning. And then we got the Irish guy that's an alcoholic that every Monday he shows up with his face half busted because he landed on the pavement. And then we got the day laborer. So,
Yeah, well, they're not going to accuse me. But you had to know when you started robbing. Now, let's get to your first robbery. You pull a painting. You don't get caught on your first one, do you? Or you do?
I don't get caught for 24 years.
Oh, so you started robbing until, you're 2011, so it's 10 years ago. You were about 40 when you got caught.
Yeah, I believe I was 38.
38. So you're going for 20 years from 18, 19. You're a painter.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, and then there you go, 20 years. You're robbing little pieces, small pieces, one piece here or there, so you're being wet. Because if you rob the whole fucking place, boom, the alarms go off.
Yeah, I don't do any of that. Everything that I take is that piece that you just forgot about.
Right. These people are so fucking rich. They put it on the wall, and I wonder who moved it. I wanted to paint it, put it in a closet, or whatever the fuck this shit is. You're way forgotten.
These people don't hang it on the wall. I don't take it off the wall. These people got stacks in the closet, so I pick out the best ones that I like. Because, see, these aren't going, this is not going for sale. So you have to really have some emotion with the piece.
You have to have it.
I have to have it.
So how do you get it? I mean, are you just a lover of art? I mean.
I love art, yeah.
So you knew about what? Listen, quick story. As a criminal, I owned a security guard company. Before, I was a criminal, but we owned a security guard company. I had 100 guys. They were in the condos in South Florida, Fort Lauderdale, all that, Gulf Ocean Mile, everything down there. I had accounts. I even had an account where I had the Broward County School Board paying off the fucking head of security, had windows broken, every window breaking. I would fucking send a guy there, and then I'm making the money, and we're kicking back to him. I had every fucking thing locked down there. Well, I had a guy who worked for me, a supervisor. He calls me, and we're street guys. We party, do blow, do everything, all the crazy shit. And I said, he goes, "Hey, Larry," he goes, "I'm guarding all these fucking $1 million. I'm down at Art Basel." Art Basel. He goes, "I'm down here. It's at the convention center, and I'm the head guy. What do you want? Picasso's, Rembrandt, $1 million pieces, right?" Well, listen, as you just said, as a professional criminal, I made some phone calls. I couldn't get 2 cents on the dollar. 2 cents. You get what I mean? So I could not take a painting that's worth $1 million and get 20 grand. I couldn't get it. I said, I'm a pass because I always, as a professional criminal, you have to have the out before you even fucking rob it because otherwise it's not worth it. I mean, I've robbed fucking warehouses, Ferguson Enterprises, fucking dress shops, fucking wedding dress shops with fucking, boom, call for you guys in the mob business. Hey, what do you got, lad? Hey, wedding dresses. I give you $300 every wedding dress you bring. I pull 75. I'm making fucking racks of fucking into fucking rider renter trucks. The fucking 23-foot rider renter. I used to rent them all the time. So what happened, Jose, is I would always have my out. I could not get an out for what I did. So since I couldn't get the out, I said, I'll pass because I know how much heat that's going to bring. You fucking whack a place for $20 million. Forget about it. You know what happens then. Everybody and their mother is looking for you. You know, forget the FBI, every insurance investigator in the world. You know that. That's how it works. So you were smart enough to realize, wait a minute. I'm going to rob piece by piece here and there. And you've been doing it for so long. So now, do you sell these pieces?
I only got to sell one out of all the ones I took.
Whoa. You were robbing for 20 years. Piece here, piece there, beautiful piece. Not crazy piece, maybe worth 10 grand, 8 grand, whatever you don't even know at that point, do you?
Yeah, because this is not about money, so I wasn't checking prices. But let me tell you something. I could tell you what the inflated price is on a piece and what the real price is.
Of course you can. Like me with diamonds. I went to the GIA Institute.
Yeah.
To learn about fucking diamonds. I mean, I'm not an idiot. I don't want to get ripped off when I'm selling them.
That's your business.
That's my business. We're street guys. And so I'm always thinking everyone's going to fucking hustle me some fucking way or another.
You said it. You hit the nail on the head, brother.
So now you know the art, but you're stealing this art, and where are you putting it?
It's at home.
So you have, I don't know, how often did you rob?
I never counted the total, but more or less, some years it would be 6 paintings in a year.
Okay.
Because we were in an apartment for a long period of time. This wasn't we come in today and we leave tomorrow. Sometimes we're in there for months.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you're talking about the 1% don't give a fuck about the money.
No.
They want and you guys were good at what you did.
We're the best of the best.
Right. So it's not they're hiring a kid off the street who just know how to roll, though. Like I had like this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just a fucking, you're really doing it, like you say, the faux pas and all that kind of stuff, whatever they do.
Yeah,
right?
we're talking about hand-polished walls that is so smooth. They're smoother than that piece of glass. And your fingerprints from sanding all day to get it that smooth, you got blood dripping off your hands onto the wall.
Wow.
We're talking about a beautiful finish. We're talking about gorgeous.
And you're talking like what I'm thinking, and as a New Yorker, you can go into those places that are 100 fucking years old, right? And you see that molding up on the ceiling. It is like the fucking best of the best. And you look. I took Nick to New York. I told you a couple of weeks ago we had to do. I did a VH1 show. I'm on the True Crime Story on VH1. I'm on that. It's coming out. I've been on every one, A&E's, Vice Network, all these fucking networks.
Damn.
So I took Nick to New York because they flew us up there, and I took him to Grand Central. We took the train from Connecticut to Grand Central, and you know New York, Grand Central. You look up, it's like, holy fuck! People don't get the, the beauty. Actually, it's just now those apartments, and I know what you mean. I've been in them, fucking billionaire apartments. I've been there, and they fucking, and you just go, what the fuck? How much work would it take to stain or do this or do that or something like that? That's what you think. And you go, it's you're that doing it. It's your kind of crews that do that, correct?
Yeah, and let me tell you something. If there was a cream of the crop painter, like the best job you could have as a painter is a decorative painter, because when it comes to our clients are the 1% of the richest people in the entire world. So they fly us. If we do their home in New York, they'll fly us to the Hamptons or West Palm Beach, wherever they're situated. I mean, we've even done this old Irish pub that they had flown in from Scotland. It was like this 1800s barn or something, and we just went in there and we painted it. I mean, any whim, that's what we do for them. Any
right.
whim.
And the pay has got to be top pay for that. I mean, you got to be making, I don't know, $50 an hour. I don't know the hourly pay, or if it does job by hourly. I don't know how your boss. I know he's making the big money.
It was always daily, but it was a daily rate, and sometimes we only work like 3 or 4 hours, and you still got paid for the whole day.
Right.
We're talking about these guys didn't bust your balls about nothing.
Right. Oh, the guy. No, don't worry about it. Don't fuck this up.
Sometimes they just wanted you to sit in the apartment. If there was no work to do, they just wanted you to sit in the apartment, so that way if the client comes in,
you're there and you're getting paid.
Yeah, exactly.
He's getting paid, obviously,
We're talking about money raining from the sky. That's what we're talking about here. We're talking about that. You don't give an estimate. You know, we're talking about that we appeared on Architectural Digest like 6 times, you know.
Wow. Okay, there's a painter. So now you're a professional painter, obviously. You
Yes.
knew your shit. You did work hard. But you have this addiction or this whatever. Man, I want to I love art. Fuck it, they don't need it. It's kind of justification that you go to. Fuck, he won't miss a painting. And you take it. Because you said you liked them.
I did, but I didn't justify it. I didn't give a shit whether you missed it or you didn't miss it. Sometimes it was just that.
Now, you had to be planning even the little Robert because you had to know where the housekeepers are, where the people, where your crew is. You know, did you have somebody cover for you? Were you alone? Were you sole?
I was alone. Not even, you know, when I would bring the paintings home, my wife of 21 years didn't know anything.
Now, you're fucking Robin. Let's just call it 5 pictures a year. Let's call it 3 pictures a year. I don't give a fuck if it's 2 pictures a year. You do this for 20 years, you got 40 fucking pictures. I mean, you know, artworks. Where are they? I got a fucking room of fucking shit, and I want to get rid of it, and it's fucking congressional shit, fucking plaques and newspaper articles. Where the fuck do you put all this?
Well, you see, this is the drawback, okay? You know for a fact that there is no reward if you give back stolen artwork. That just doesn't happen. It just doesn't exist.
Well, it depends on how big it is. If the
Not
big,
if you're the one who stole it.
of course, but you know, listen. You don't think you didn't figure that out if you wanted to? Fuck, you know, I was on the street or this, and obviously as a painter you might not get away with that, but have somebody do that. Because I did read where you sold a painting for a $50,000 painting for $8,500 in an art gallery in California. I said, what
And
the
that was legitimately. That was legitimately. That wasn't no black market.
Wait, what do you mean legitimately? No, the place was legit, but the painting was a stolen painting.
No, it was a stolen painting, but
The art gallery was legit.
legit, yeah.
But wait a
there is
minute.
no black
As they
market.
said in there, what red flag is that? You got a $50,000 piece of art you sell for $8,500.
I had the receipt.
I got it, but if I'm the art owner of the gallery,
What are
this
you
guy-
gonna say? I'm
no,
giving
no,
you the
no.
receipt.
I'm happy as a motherfucker. But you don't think that red flag said, man, this motherfucker be hot. I'm a street guy. You come at me with a $50,000. Okay, let's take diamonds. I'm a fucking diamond guy, and I see a $100,000 ring. I know fucking prices, and you say, give me 10 grand. You don't think I'm saying fucking Jose? That mother, where'd you fucking rob? In my head, if not to you.
Wait, so Larry, you know for a fact that
You know I'm right?
yeah, without a doubt, but you also know for a fact too that there's the inflated insurance value, and then there's the what you can actually get for it, and that's a big
100%.
difference.
Oh,
That's a
100%.
huge
Yeah,
difference.
yeah. Absolutely. You know, I used to tell people, oh, look at that. Any jewelry store that says we got 80% off. How bad was he fucking you before the 80%? And he's still making money at that 80%.
Yes.
But I get what you're saying. My point is, you sold a picture for $8,500, I think it was.
Yeah, because that's all it was really worth.
Okay, so that inflated 50,000 price was just bullshit.
Yeah, that's for the insurance company.
Gotcha. Yeah, he got his money, that motherfucker.
Oh, you have no idea.
Now, these rich people, these 1%ers, they don't even give a fuck. They didn't put no insurance claim in for that shit.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Did they?
Yeah, because you see, to me and you, it's a picture frame or it's a poster you hang on the wall. But to them, they have it insured up to the gills. You know, it's not worth. Well, you could see. You just said it, $8,500 for a $50,000 painting. But if it's stolen, it's $50,000 to the insurance company. Insurance company is not paying $8,500. The insurance company has to pay with the
Whatever,
appraised value.
Right.
So-
or minus 10% or whatever they work.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. Oh, okay. So they end up, you're doing this for 20 years. Again, where do you put this stuff?
Home.
I mean, where at home?
It
I mean,
was
you got a
right down-
fucking room.
Nah, it was right there in the hallway, in the closets. It was
You
everywhere.
put them on your own wall?
Yeah, because we were decorating our house. We bought a nice house. I wanted to decorate.
Yeah, you're making good money as a painter.
And
yeah.
it's a little bit at a time. It's not like I'm coming in with all these paintings.
So you're
know?
coming home and you say, look, hon, I found this piece at the flea market.
They gave it. They were throwing the stuff out. Look what I found in the garbage. Why would somebody throw that out? You know?
You're fucking good. Okay, you even
Dude.
got the wife con. I love it.
Dude, you think I want my wife
No, of course not.
testifying against me, bro?
Of course not. Of course
Yeah,
not.
I'm
And you're protecting her. Whether
It's all levels. When I was in jail, I tried to explain to the other cons, everything is a fucking level. This is not just You go in, you grab it, you walk out. That's not what I'm doing here. This is all about, if I get caught, do I have that avenue of recourse? You know, can I be the last person blamed? Are they going to find it? Or, you know, am I ever going to admit?
Well, you are putting this works of art on your fucking wall. So if they ever come in with a warrant, you're done.
Yeah, nobody's going to come to my house.
Well, again, that's a little bit law. Listen, I was caught by the major case squad by the FBI. They ain't no fucking joke. You know that.
I wish they would.
Oh yeah, make you big and famous.
I wish they would.
Okay, let's go on. So now you rob a piece, you put them on walls. I get it now. In the back of your mind, are you always saying to yourself, at least I got this fucking painting. I know this is worth, I can get 10 grand, 2 grand, 5 grand. You know, you need money every now and then for whatever fucking reasons. I got this shit.
Nah, because you hit the nail on the head before. You said the money's always good, what I was doing. And
Yeah, you made good money.
my wife was earning a great living. I mean,
So you really are, you know, we used to call them opportunity thieves, or, you know, take artwork. You know, the people who could have bought, if I robbed those Picassos and shit that $1 million shits, who the fuck is going to buy it and put it on their wall when it's a hot place? You know, only some guy who's like a stupid billionaire who has not a fucking gives a shit, puts it in the fucking basement so he can look at it. You know, I didn't get it, and I never still
no,
get it.
you see, that's the whole thing. You know,
I'm a criminal. What the fuck?
if all right, let's put it this way: if you're invisible, how can you commit a crime?
True, but you're not invisible. There is a tangible item that you have. Oh, yes, there is.
I can bet you $1 million. Let me see what's inside this box. I can bet you $1 million if I took one cigar out of this box, you'd never know I took it.
100% right.
Right?
100% right.
So if this box was full of Picassos, and I
Right.
took one,
Now, if every one of those Picassos, which they are numbered or whatever, that Picasso is numbered, let's just say. $1 million, I'm talking millions of dollar picture. It's a number pair. I watched all crazy shit for years about how they fucking do shit and how the art fucking investigators, everything else. So now, there's 10 of Picassos there, fucking $5 million each. I don't notice it. I'm worth fucking $10 billion. I don't fucking know. All of a sudden, one day I go in there. Hey, there's a fucking $5 million Picasso missing. Fucking, hey, who robbed this fucker? I don't know, nobody. Get somebody on this. Now the insurance investigators start looking at shit. Somehow they fucking work it back. And they said, motherfucker, let's investigate all these. All of a sudden, you got a Picasso on your wall with that fucking number. You're done, obviously. My point was, there's a tangible item. Listen, when I robbed, and I robbed a lot of money, 15, 18 million. Every fucking thing I took, gone. There's never a serial number. In fact, every fucking piece of clothing was fucking incinerated. Every fucking tag on every fucking jewelry. Every signature piece was taken out of the fucking goddamn thing, melted down. The gold was melted for pennyweight. The diamond was reset, done. No serial numbers on. I'm gone, done. You're gonna get me different ways. I get now I'm trying to get to the audience to say, okay, now we got fucking Jose here, Picasso. I'm gonna say Picasso now. Okay, Jose is here, smart, very smart, obviously. Now you're taking pictures, really for your love of them. I'm thinking at this point. Now, but again, you're a street kid. You grew up like I did.
I was poor. I didn't
Right, you kid. I'm thinking, man, motherfucker. Okay, I could sell this shit. I'm all right, you know, no matter what. No, you know, things hit the fucking fan for us. No matter what, I fucking break my leg. I can't work. I don't have insurance. Things. I have fucking, $1 million in paintings over here. What are we gonna do here? Is that why you sold the one for $8,500?
At that point, yeah. That was my New Orleans trip, yeah.
Bingo! I just
But
called
that's
it.
the thing is, you see, that's the thing is, the New Orleans trip was a vacation. It wasn't even, like, literally, I feel blessed. Like, at my worst, I'm always at my best. I don't know how to explain it, you know?
Jose, I'm explaining it for you. You're a fucking hustler and a survivor. End of story. You know, I tell people, guys like myself and you could drop me off in Seattle naked, and I'll show up in New York 3 days later in a fucking suit and $1,000 fucking in my pocket. Because I'm a hustler, I figure out ways to make it, and guys like that can do it. There's no question. Some other people fucking sit there and they'll shrivel and their dick will fucking go fall off and they're done. You know, they're done. They're crying or whatever. You're not that way. You did it. That's why I wanted to get your early story, because you're a survivor. You figured shit out at 10, 12, 15, all the way through your life. Then you hit the job that you did like, make good money. But holy shit, the first day on, you're saying, I want to take one of these motherfuckers. I like it because you read the paper and you were high end. You got that in you, and I like
I didn't know that though.
I know you didn't
any
know
of
that. Listen,
I didn't. It was just like something you picked up, like it was a street kid knowledge that you don't realize till you picked it up.
I didn't know I liked diamonds or fucking the works and shit until the fucking first robbery was a setup, for insurance jobs. And I said, oh, yeah, this is my fucking biz. Now I'll take over. And I did. Now you, as a criminal, you end up selling that picture. That's your downfall, I think. Correct?
Not in my eyes. In my eyes, the reality show. When I came out of jail, I wanted to see where I messed up, so I would watch the reality show. I bought it, paid for it.
What do you mean? What show?
The show's called The Brooklyn DA, and I'm featured in episode number 1 and number 3.
Okay, the Brooklyn. So the audience knows.
Yeah, the Brooklyn DA.
Do you know it, Nick? We're gonna check it out. The Brooklyn DA, to let everybody know,
Yeah.
and you can Google it. Is it on YouTube? Or,
Yep, it's on YouTube. It's on Pluto, and I'm featured in episode number 1 and 3.
Okay, as just now do they know who you are when they feature you? Yes, I mean
from start to finish. Yeah.
Okay, so my point is but that's not your downfall. Where would you get when you got caught? And what I read, and I do research, so they went back. You sold a piece in an art gallery under a relative's name, right? And you get $8,500 for this $50,000 bullshit. But we forget that. You get $8,500. You get the money. You give your cousin or whoever the fuck it is. Give her $500. Everything's cool. Whatever. You got your money, a vacation. Moving on in life. How long after that do you get caught?
2.5 years later.
Okay, so the investigation started. Imagine if it was $1 million piece.
As a matter of fact, someone called me and said, the DA or police officer is investigating you.
Right.
So the red flag was already up before I went back. It was already up. I should have seen it, but I was high. I was smoking weed at this time.
Okay. So you're high, you don't see it, you fucking say, fuck it. Still keep doing what you're doing. Because they set you up, Ben. They actually set you up. And they put a camera into place. Now, knowing you were under the fucking gun, like when I knew I was under the gun, I got rid of everything out of my house. My guns, every fucking thing that you can think, excess cash. Because, whoa. And I know, like, my wife was followed. I had the kids in the neighborhood hooked. And hey, Miss Lawton, I see, the truck. I took parties. I had the neighborhood locked down. So I'm saying, okay. I got smart, and it helped me. It saved my life, technically. Even though I did 4 12-year sentences, I beat a fucking life sentence. So I considered it saving my life. And that's why I'm here today. Otherwise, I don't know you except you're a cellmate.
Wow.
and my point. Now, you, though, you end up still robbing. Now, how many paintings did you rob when they caught you? Because you said you were robbing one at a time. Now, didn't you rob 3 or something, 4 from one house?
When they pulled me over, I had 3 paintings in the back of the Mercedes.
Now, were you thinking to sell them?
No, I was keeping those. Those were my those paintings were actually supposed to go for my retirement fund. That was supposed to be
fucking it. I love it.
That was supposed to be my goal.
Whether you think you're not, you were fucking doing it for the money. I know you loved it, but you were doing it for the money.
Yeah, but retirement. You got to think about
retirement.
things.
Gangsters and street people don't retire.
We don't get 401k.
Exactly. We don't retire. We'll hustle till we're dead. Who the fuck are you kidding? So now, Jose, you fucking get caught. Obviously, they hire your company because they suspect it to fucking paint the same house that you painted 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever it is.
Yep.
So you don't need no suspicion there because they're 1%ers. They like the job. They got us back. And you go, fuck, I had a nice painting there. How long before you were in there and you see the paintings did you ever think that this could be a setup?
No, absolutely.
Okay.
Never, ever in my wildest dreams did I think this was a setup. But the thing
So they're good. So they're good. You got to give them their credit. You got to give the law the credit.
But the thing was that I was high. So.
Hey, I get it. High or not, you're a smart fucking guy. I don't give a fuck who you tell me.
You know what I'm saying? If I wasn't high that day, there was 1 million red flags. 1 million. Like literally, the house was on fire. Literally.
Okay, what was the red flag?
First red flag was my boss. There was 2 of them, right? and one of them would not look at me dead in the eye, and I thought it was the weirdest thing. Like, why is he doing this?
And you think, did I fuck up somewhere? Did I say
Yeah.
something in front of a client?
No, I don't do stuff like that. I don't do any of that.
Okay, so
But I just knew that was something off.
okay, red flag 1.
Then I already had been to the mansion, so I already knew every square inch of that mansion.
And were you there for a long time? The first job?
I was there for probably 2 months.
Mm.
And I had pictures. I went inside. I took pictures of every piece of artwork, and I cataloged it.
You mean the first time?
The first time. I cataloged everything.
Did you do that in every place you went?
Most of them.
Okay, I love it. Hey, listen, you're
Because
prepared.
you got to know where to put the stuff back. You know what I'm saying? If stuff is askew.
Oh, you mean when after you take things off the wall, you guys
Yeah.
got to put it back and make it like it never happened?
Exactly the way it happened.
Oh, so that's a normal thing you guys did.
Yeah, that's a normal thing that I did because I wanted to, on my trip home or while I was at home, is to do some research if I was gonna, if I was gonna grab something.
Oh, okay. So you got it. That's what I'm getting at. You became like I did, a professional in what you did. Like I went to the GI Institute. I paid 10 grand. GI Institute is a Gemological Institute of America. I paid 10 grand under the table to one guy who had 4 fucking criminals in this fucking class. That's a normal 2-week thing. It was fucking, we did in a couple of days. Enough to grade them, know them, see them cut, know exactly what they are. Enough that you ain't getting fucked. So we become the smart. That's a smart criminal, period. So now they catch you. They set you up. You steal how many pictures when they set you up?
3.
The retirement fund pictures.
The retirement fund, the go bag.
But they weren't big. That they weren't worth a lot of money, is what I saw. The pictures that you robbed weren't like
Not by
like a $1
themselves.
million picture,
No, not by themselves. Oh, part of my collection, yeah.
Oh, so you have at your house all of these fucking pictures for the last 18 years. Do they ever do a search warrant on your house?
Simultaneously, they do a search warrant. But this is the thing: is they were doing a search warrant for a different house.
Oh, so you had 2 houses. They had the wrong house where you had the artwork in a different house.
Yeah.
Statutes up, that.
And let's just put it this way: these, and I'm not insulting law enforcement, but I'm just saying they're not the brightest. There was a Monet.
Most of them are not.
There was a tiny Monet.
FBI is.
Yeah.
No
Well,
fuck.
that's why I say to you that you cannot. There is no black market for art. But anyway, let me get it. When they did a search of the house, there was a Monet hanging in my toilet, and they left it right there. They didn't even touch it. And I'm thinking to myself,
Monet, M-O-N-E-T. Even I know that fucking artist, right?
And it's just, I don't know. It's just.
Can I buy anything off you? No, I'm joking. So now you get your art. They don't get anything in the house.
Nothing at all.
So they run a warrant on your house. Now I guarantee at least they did this. They went back to every single house that you fucking painted over the year, or the company painted, and probably went to these 1%ers. And these 1% probably never knew they were robbed.
Absolutely
Most of them
not.
never knew they were robbed.
Absolutely not. Well, first of all, they never went back to these 1%ers, and the 1%ers never knew they were robbed.
That's true, because I robbed out to Ferguson Enterprises. That's the biggest plumbing place in the world. They have a fucking warehouse. Warehouse size of 2 football fields. Well, I had the guy in the inside, a manager gets in debt with me. We robbed the place for 75 or 100 grand worth of shit. They never knew they were robbed. Never, ever, to this day. Well, they do now. You know what I'm saying? They just write it off for fucking inventory control or whatever the fuck they do. Obviously, same thing with these rich people.
Let me ask you: if I robbed a cigar out of that box,
I would never know.
Would you report it?
No, and I wouldn't even know.
But that's the whole.
Even if I did fucking thing, I wouldn't give a shit.
That's the whole equivalent. That's the whole
Yeah,
equivalent.
those
a
rich people.
Picasso and the Picassos that I stole, I had the receipts for them. I'm not going to tell you how I got them, but I had the receipts for them, and they didn't pay $1 million. One of the receipts were original, right from Picasso.
From the gallery.
Yeah, it was like $800.
Right.
Look out of here. These all inflated prices. Everything's imaginary.
Art is what you can get for it. You know
Yes,
that.
the whole point is you get your buddy to come over and give it a huge estimate, and then you insure it, and then you get it stolen, and
that's the insurance claim, and there are a lot of them in the diamond
Yes,
business.
there
There's a
is.
ton of those.
Yep.
Same, and I'm sure in the art business. We talk about art. There's a piece of art in this neighborhood. This guy I know, he's a rich guy. He buys this beautiful piece. Supposedly, pays 25 grand. It looks like a fucking monkey gym where you can hang on it. You know what I mean? The homeless hang on it. Now, listen, it's nice. It is what it is. The guy's supposedly a famous guy. Art is in the eye of the beholder, I think, number one. Because, listen, no matter what it is, if I could get, for that sign, if I got a guy that says, I want your sign, and the guy's worth $1 billion, and he says, I'm going to give you $1 million. Will you give me that sign? You got it. Well, now that piece of art's $1 million.
That's a fact.
I mean, what I'm getting at is in eyeball. Same with memorabilia. I was into memorabilia. It's what you can get for it. It's not what, someone will say that's worth. I had a baseball signed by the 1927 Yankees. Babe Ruth, Miller Huggins, Lou Gehrig, the whole fucking team. I had to sell it for legal fees, back in the day. That's what happened.
Wow.
I had a basketball that was played in Spain by the original Dream Team Olympics in 1992. That was with Charles Barkley and Michael Jordan. And the original 1992 Dream Ball. All a molten basketball signed by every one of them. Every one of them. I ended up giving that to my son. But my point, I think he sold it, whatever, but it was worth a lot of money. But it's what you can get for it. I mean, you know how hard it would be to get all those guys together to do a signature of the actual game ball? Forget about it. It costs you fucking $100,000 just to fucking fly around or, play and get a meeting with them to sign the fucking ball. And it's original and it's all, authenticated and all that bullshit. But that's another fucking thing that's bullshit. And I'll get into authentications. Because you know what you do there. Like we did back in the day in kids. We used to have a guy in a motor vehicle. We were robbing cars and switching VIN numbers. So, you laugh because you grew up just like I did.
Dude, if we needed a car, we followed you home, and the minute you walked in your front door, we took your car.
How about better than that? What we used to do is when I was robbing cars when I was a kid, people would go out of the car and warm it up in the winter, and you'd see the fucking shit, leave the car running while they go back in the house to get coffee and get ready because the heater on the car because it's winter. We'd see the fucking mufflers on the street. Go in, get out, got the keys in it and everything. Damn. Or guy would go, in New York, they'd go up to a bodega or a bagel shop. They put double park, run in to get bagels. We'd be waiting right there. He runs in, we run it, boom, goodbye. He walks out. There's no fucking car. Don't know what way we went. You know what I mean? So, I mean, there's ways we did shit. Like, that. That's just thinking, and that's being a hustler, and that's being a guy who tries to figure out crime. We're figuring out what you said is we're figuring out people's patterns. We're figuring out people's psychology, what they do. Well, we're going to do something a little bit better to get it. So let's get back to your story because this is great. You get back to your story. So now you robbed for all these years. The investigators don't catch any of that because if they would have went to your house, but thank God the statute of limitations is up. I know all about that law. So now you rob all these things. If they went into your house and caught those dirty 50 pictures, you're done.
The only problem is they weren't going to find them.
You said you had them on a wall.
Okay, yes. I had them on
Anything
a wall.
can happen then.
No.
You don't think somebody could come in, I don't give a shit if she's a delivery lady and happen to be a fucking freak artist and say, man, this guy's got fucking Picasso's on the wall. Go ahead. Come on, hit me. I'm coming at you. I'm a street guy.
Larry, let me educate you, brother.
Please.
Let me educate you, okay? With so many things in life, what is it you think? Give me your version of the way you see things in artwork, in stealing artwork.
Like anything else. What do you mean, stealing anything?
You can't steal artwork, and you can't sell it on the black market, so you're kind of stuck with it. You can't.
Well, no, you can't. There's always a market for something. You just got to know who can buy it. I've learned that. I never stole anything that I couldn't get rid of. Now, I knew guys who come to me afterwards. Said, Larry, I'd have give you this for that. I'll tell you a good one. There's a guys in New York City that robbed Tiffany's. $5 million. Listen.
I think I remember that.
$5 million. Remember, it was a guard in the inside, the whole works. I was out of prison, so it was maybe 10 years ago, whatever it was. I said, damn, I wish I would have known those motherfuckers. Because they got caught. You know how they got caught? The guy sold a $30,000 fucking diamond up in Harlem for crack or whatever the fuck it was. It gets, investigation starts, it gets back, they get caught. They all get caught. I wish that fucking guy knew me because I would have gave him $1 million for the whole $5 million. And fucking, he's happy. I take that fucking million that I get invested and sell it for $2 million. I had the outs. I had the outs that people would do what I'm telling you. Rip it down, rebuild. My biggest mistake in life, and I tell this, is I should have opened a jewelry store in California on Rodeo Drive and redid my own shit, put it up there, and I'd been probably, the store would have been worth millions and millions. Then I would have fucking robbed my own self. But anyway, those are things that we think back as young. So there is a market for everything. It's just how it's going to get. And it could be another gangster, could be another criminal, could be somebody, offense or something of that nature. Because I've been around crime my whole life. I mean, that's all I've been. Not only, before prison, I was a gangster. That's what I did.
See, but the thing is, you have partners in crime, right?
Absolutely.
I don't have any partners.
Yes.
I don't have nobody that I would confide in. Not even,
I
dude,
got you.
Nobody.
But unless you take this art, which you didn't, and throw it in a underground, bury it, cellar or something, and it's on a wall, you don't know who can come into your house, happen to be like you, happen to be a fucking aficionado, just love fucking art. I mean, love it like it's their fucking, it's their whore. They love it so much, they, not knowing anything, they know it's fucking there that good.
You're making my heart race.
Hey, right? But hear me out. Hear me out, Jose. And now the guy loves it so much, right? He's at a party with another person. Man, I know. I went to a party, this guy's house. Holy shit. He lived in a nice house, but man, he had fucking $1 million piece on the wall. You see what I'm saying? There, unless you take like me, no matter what, I never got caught through the fence, which most people do. I never got caught through somebody telling on me. No, I had everything covered. Everybody who worked for me, nobody dealt with my purse but me. I was the only motherfucker on the planet who knew who he was, and nobody went. Did you know I went away on a RICO alone? And the reason I went away,
told me.
and because nobody knew what I knew, and I know me, so I wasn't going to give him up. Now, obviously, they tried every book in the thing to try to make me tell. Do you know him? I don't know him. It's a picture of my boss. A captain in the mob. I don't know. Next picture, next picture is me standing next to him at a parking meter. Oh, yeah, I go to that club. Next picture is me and his Jaguar. He dropped me off at the train station. Fucking guys, the FBI agent, major case, Matt Mull, nice guy, says, I get it. I said, this is not me. You can, whatever. And I'm facing life. You know how rare that is. You fucking face life and don't flip. So I end up doing what I do. And my point to you is, I get it. I totally get what you did. Because I'm a street guy. And people out there who are listening say, nah, it's not about the crime. Listen, everybody commits crimes. They don't even know it. And I'm not saying, you're at work, and Nick says, fuck it, I'm going to take these pens. Larry don't need it. That's a fucking crime. Not a valuable crime, but it's a crime. How many people do that? 99% of the people. That doesn't make him bad, good, or indifferent. It doesn't mean nothing. Oh, but he'll let it. No, your boss didn't say you could take boxes of pens that he's paying for. Obviously. I'm not trying to say it's a real crime. My point is, I don't think people are looking at it saying, okay, this is smart. Then you tell me, retirement fund, smart. So you had to think about how you're going to, listen, you can't sit here and tell me, Jose, you're smart, that you ain't figuring out how to get rid of this. Maybe you don't want to tell it on air. And I hear you, bro. I hear you.
You're wearing me out.
You know why? Because there's another street guy in front of you.
You're wearing me out.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's just put it this way. When I was on Rikers, okay, I was on Rikers Island.
Been there.
They did a double search warrant. They did one out in Kings Point, Long Island, and simultaneously they did one in East.
Kings Point was that house you had there?
It was the mansion that took the Picasso.
Okay, obviously, right? And then they did one at your house?
Easton, Pennsylvania, at my house. Yeah, the house that they did the search warrant on, that house was packed with paintings, packed. But they were built into the architecture of the house, meaning to say that unless you knew how the house was built, you were not starting to rip walls down. And on one side of those walls, dude, it went. At one point, we were growing trees. If you look at Weed World magazine, Into the Shisha, I was displayed in the centerfold. We were growing huge trees, pot trees in that room. And this was an invisible room. Like literally, you could walk into it.
You had a grow house.
Yeah, in my house. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But it was an invisible room. Like you would know it's behind that wall.
yeah,
And that's
false
where it
walls.
was.
Yeah, I know those.
I had a feeling before that when I heard that the DA was investigating, I chopped down all the trees, all of them. And what I did was I stacked the pots, dumped the soil, and put all the paintings in there.
Absolutely smart.
I'm assuming I'm getting caught. So
Gotcha. Okay, now, there we go. We got to the answer. You
Assumption.
didn't want to give it up. You have to. You didn't want to give it up. I love
Dude,
it.
you like the FBI here? What's going on?
Listen, this is funny, Jose, because I deal with a lot of people, right? Well, there's a reporter around here, and I had her on my show, and she tells everybody, I go to Larry with a story. Larry will rip that motherfucker up. And if you can get by Larry, you got a fucking real good story or whatever. No, I don't mean story like for printing. She has to have her shit in order because you don't want to get sued and all that shit. Because I look at things as when I deal with a guy like you, it's refreshing because you're a street guy. I relate to you. When I get a fucking
You give me chills, brother.
hey, Jose, when I deal with a fucking banker or a fucking doctor, I get along. I'm smart. I can deal that way. I understand 1,000 times more because I know the way you grew up. I know the way you think. I know you're obviously a smart guy, high intelligence. We both have that.
You also got to watch the way you talk around other people because you scare them.
100%.
People get intimidated easily.
Yes, when they realize they're not the smart one in the room, but you and I have figured out how to dumb that fucking down.
I love dumbing it down.
So
Yes, massa. Yes, massa. Whatever you say, massa.
and in the back of your mind, going, this motherfucker. I used to go to the jewelry stores, right? I go to and I'd look, I didn't know I was a young person. Oh, I bought my wife a 3/4 carat ring back when we were married 10 years. Now I'm making money. I'm all dressed nice. And it'd come in. I said, is this fucker open? And then he takes out under a false board the fucking box. The box is the loose diamonds and shit. I just fucking got I'm fucking adding that fucking box up in my head. Because I asked him 2 questions. You liking that? Jose,
Dude,
I asked him.
You're killing me, bro.
I asked him 2 questions, Jose. Oh, let me see a carat. Where he picks that carat in that box means something to me. I asked him, maybe a carat, little bigger. If he goes this way and it's all this, I know this is high. If he goes this way, there's all bullshit in this.
You're breaking it all down.
In my, you know what I'm getting at. Anyway, they catch you. You end up okay, they catch you by that. They don't get anything else. They get the 5 paintings.
They get 3.
They get 3 total.
Total.
Well, did they charge you with the one in Oakland? I think it was Oakland.
Yeah, they charged me with that one, but there's 2 that were never recovered for some reason.
Okay, I'm sure nobody wants to give them up. Whatever. Were you? Anyway, so they charge you with 3 total paintings.
Yep.
Value of $100K.
I think it was more like 250,000 combined.
Okay, so you got 3 paintings at 250, and now you're sitting there and it's not even like a lot of money, because crimes go by money. You know that.
Yeah.
Sentencing and stuff goes by value of money. I got caught, and I got caught. I was indicted in 4 different federal districts, and the total amount I was sentenced under that 12 was for $3 million, $4 million, but they already closed the case on $20 million, $18 million, whatever it was, because they had me at 90% of that I did those robberies. At that point, when they said it wasn't charging me, I said, okay, I did that and I had the bomb done. I'm the only one in jail. I don't give a fuck. What do I give a fuck? They happy that they closed the case. And the FBI, they were really pretty good. I cannot knock them. They fucking didn't try to kill me. You know what I mean? Once they knew, listen, I was the boss. Things have stopped. Nobody's there. They knew. But I had a partner. There's a joke around. My partner was John Rodriguez, right? There's no fucking John Rodriguez. There never was a John Rodriguez. I got charged I was in prison 6 years.
Is John Rodriguez?
No. I was in prison 6 years, and the federal government charged me after 6 years in prison with 18 U.S.C. 1001, which is filing a false statement, saying that my partner was John Rodriguez. And I sent them on a wild goose chase that cost the federal government over $1 million. to the records, and in investigation fees, because the person, John Rodriguez, was really my brother. He ends up getting caught because his wife tells on him. But anyway, it's out in the open. Nobody gives a shit anymore. But it's funny because they charged me with that. I ended up doing another I got hit with another 12-year sentence. So I got another indictment, 6 years in prison on a case. So, I mean, they could do it then. My point is, I knew what I was doing every fucking step of the way. I was not going to fucking tell because I won a case for my brother to get him back in court. And if I would have admitted that, and they're telling me, hey, just admit it and time served, concurrent, you got a fucking rap sheet that's whatever, and it doesn't mean anything. I said, no, I ain't going to fucking take it. And they're like, what the fuck? I said, listen, I know the law. If I admit to it right now, take the plea, and you have to tell you what your crime was when you take a plea. If I admit to that, at that point, you can use that against my brother or anybody else. Oh, but he's not going to win an appeal. I won him an appeal. Me and my buddy Paul Tellini won him an appeal, and they couldn't use it. So my point to you, because I never took it, I took it to trial. I took that case to trial, but it was a bench trial, pushed by a judge. And that's when it all come out. They will come in with the fucking hand truck, all the paperwork, how much money it cost the fucking FBI and all this shit. They investigated, put it this way. Where did John Rodriguez live? They asked me. I said, I don't know, somewhere in Miami. How many John Rodriguez do you think live in Miami? And they fucking investigated all of them. It got so funny when we read the transcript. They investigated one John Rodriguez that was near a robbery, who he actually was, his friend or relative was in prison, and they thought he told his cellie who was a John Rodriguez. That's how deep their investigation went. But anyway, my point, so I ended up, now you get arrested, you go to Rikers Island, obviously. And
wait, Larry, not to stop.
you go right in there.
So check this out. You see, I just want to try to make you comprehend what the 1% working for the 1% is like, right? When they popped me, everything that I was doing was on video because the whole mansion was booby trapped with cameras, right?
On purpose to get you?
Yeah, to get me.
The whole place. Setup. Okay, the whole place.
Yeah. So after they got me and I was laying on Rikers Island, they did some investigating, right? So the Brooklyn DA committed a Class D felony by using a search warrant from Long Island to ask for bank records out of Kings County. So it turns out that someone had stolen $1 million from this guy, and they only uncovered it because they arrested me. So think about that. Just think about it. How do you lose $1 million and then all of a sudden they find it investigating a different case? You understand? You comprehend $1 million. How do you lose it? They found it. And
no, absolutely. And now they're worried that they did that illegally to get that, so they'd never get that case anyway. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, but they did get the $1 million back.
No, I didn't say they didn't get it back, but now there could be a whole bunch of shit with you. Hey, wait, you got an illegal search warrant on that one, because that you can't get another case. That's like when they came with a warrant on my house, right? They had a warrant for any jewelry, excess equipment, money, or jewelry equipment. Well, on my bar, I had a 9-foot bar in a house down South Florida, a nice house, and I had cocaine, bookmaking equipment, everything. Didn't fucking even look at it. They looked at it, didn't give a fuck because they couldn't get it. It would have been an illegal warrant. They couldn't get that because they didn't have a warrant for that. Just like your case, they didn't have a warrant for that $1 million. Now you can't say, oh, well, now we saw it. They couldn't have went back and said, oh, we saw it. Now let's get a warrant for that cocaine, because then that would be illegal search and seizure. That's law, but I'm not going to get into too much more of it because we can get bored down on law. Let's get right to where you're at now. So first of all, you get arrested. Now you're back and forth with the DEA, to get listen, it's nonviolent, which is good, obviously. And you aren't a violent offender. So now you sit there, you're in the jail, you're waiting, you hear it. You got a paid lawyer?
I actually got Bruce Cutler's law firm, John Gotti.
Okay, so you got, you told me that. So you get that. Now they work out a deal with the feds. It wasn't the feds, it was the state of New York, right?
It was the state of New York in 2 different counties.
Right. Okay. Right.
The
And-
FBI started the investigation and then dropped it back to them.
wow. They didn't keep it. Yeah. Well, usually see what mine was. I was searched by the fucking FBI. Those motherfuckers. But yeah, they're good. But anyway, so you get it. You get kickback, right? Correct. And you end up doing what? I mean, they said, I know you got the plea. You ended up you got 5 charges. That's why I thought it was 5 pieces. They had 5 counts. They said, year, run concurrent, and then they you already were in the joint a year and a half.
Yeah, I was already in a year and a half.
So you did the time. You had time served already.
Yeah,
obviously.
the lawyer comes inside and he says the judge doesn't want this to go to trial for the obvious reasons.
Yeah.
And he says if you plead guilty today, you know, you can go free. But we had to negotiate because now we had Nassau County too. So my lawyer made the agreement. If both counties let him go, then we'll take the deal.
The deal. Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I don't give a fuck.
You know, first of all, here's the key too. You know what happens when, like, even my case, I said, "Fuck it, I'll go to trial and everything," and I would have had a fucking flight. You know how much money it would have cost them? Tons of money, and they think that. Believe me, at these cases. So now the other Nassau agrees to it, and you end up doing the year and a half. You get out. Now you get out. You got out in 2014, if I'm correct.
More or less, yeah.
Okay, you get out to the. Where do you go? Are you painting? Did you do certain what? I mean, you're a skilled professional. I'm honestly.
I lost everything.
Of course. Trust me on that. I know that. I got out of debt. I got out of prison $67,000 in debt. So believe me, they know. And they took $6 million. So it's not my money, so I can't be bitching. You know what I mean? I was a criminal. So now you get out, right? And now you're out of prison. What do you do to live? What do you?
Well,
You're
I
a street
can't-
guy, so I know you're going to figure it out.
I can't tell you what I did that first year, but the rest of the years I went back to work.
Come on, Jose. You
All-
can't tell me.
All I'm saying, all
Statutes
I'm
up on
saying-
that, too, you know.
All I am, all I'm saying is when you knock a man down and you take him and you strip him of everything he's got to get his shit back. So you can't blame him. So don't expect that you go to jail, you learn a lesson, and you come out. There's a different story with me. I learned my lesson because of my girls. You know, I gave it up because of them.
You're 2 new girls. You have a daughter from a prior marriage, right?
I have a 30-year-old son from
Okay, son.
prior marriage, and I have an 8-year-old daughter, and I have a 6-year-old daughter.
Good. Congratulations.
Which,
Okay. Yeah.
dude, they changed my life.
Good, they're your world. Obviously, you know, also you're older, you know, you're smarter.
Yeah.
You know, you get tired. You don't want to live in prison. You know, the hustle is not an easy game. People think, oh, it's easy. No, it's not. It's not an easy. You'll always have it. You always have that edge, but you don't want to go the crime route. I mean, I hope you don't. I really hope you don't. I hope you teach people with what you're doing. Now tell us about, you got a movie coming out.
The name of the movie is The Picasso of Thieves, and we're having a private screening on Sunday in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Yeah, that was yesterday, right?
Yeah.
So, and how did that go?
And that literally went amazing. People flew in from all over the country to see the premiere. I could not believe the amount of support that we got for the film and the amount of buzz. I mean, it's insane how many networks are contacting me about the movie.
You know, a little spoiler alert. I was there. I'll tell tell the audience I was there, and I'm not going to get into it because we're coming out with a video on it ourselves. We vlogged it, and we're going to come out with a video on that. So you'll see that. You'll see a piece of the movie. You'll do a few things, and we'll have it up here and probably my main channel. So you'll see a few things about that. So I wanted to congratulate you here on air, you know, in front of everybody. That listen, you're to me you're fucking normal. I mean, obviously, listen, I enjoy talking to criminals. I mean, I'm a criminal. What the fuck you want me to say? I mean,
I might enjoy it too much.
yeah, you know, I get that. No, I'm talking. I'm glad you came here and opened up about a few things with us. You know, because you have to. You know, we wish you luck with the movie. Number one,
Thank you.
I think, you know. Listen, people need to hear the stories, and they also got to, in my opinion, need to hear the part of what you did of that. You know, you're not going to do it. I mean, you know, you could change, but you can educate people. The biggest part of my life, Jose, is when I did a lot of bad things, but if I could educate, and there's no excuses, even from being abused. I was tortured in prison, strapped down naked, four-pointed, pissed on, and spit on every month for 11 straight months. And no, I'm not using that to be bitter. Yes, it took me 5 years, and I mean this, and you know us kind of people. It took me 5 years to say, I planned their murders for 5 fucking years. And you know what? I had to get away from that. I had to, because the hate was killing me. And now I'm in a better place in life. I enjoy my life. I take care of my mom. I built my own studio here. You know what I mean? I did what I want to do now. It's not even, I don't need what we had. I don't need that. I had it. I had my own limousine, drivers, fucking coats, boats, houses, multiple houses. Listen, I don't give a fuck. I lived in a prison cell for fucking 12 years. I lived in an 8 by fucking 10-foot fucking cell and then smaller something for fucking so long. You realize what's important, and you did. I have my children now. I have 2 grandkids that I love, and I'm close with my kids. I was offered a deal. I was offered 3 years and keep my money, and I wouldn't do it. I would not do it. And my kids to this day are proud of me, and I'm very close with. My son works for me. My daughter's having a baby, my 3rd granddaughter next month. No, July. So I mean, I'm in a good place, and I think you'll get there, and you'll get there every day, and you try to do the movie. I'm wishing you luck, and good stuff. That's all I'm gonna tell people. They're gonna have to watch my trailer to check it out, and they're gonna have to do a bunch of stuff. And I'm sure. Where can people find you?
I'm on Facebook, Picasso, born in Brooklyn.
Is that the Facebook name?
That's the name of the page, Picasso, born in Brooklyn.
Okay, Picasso, born in Brooklyn on Facebook.
And if you look for me, I'm Picasso Vega on Facebook. Also on LinkedIn, I'm Picasso Vega. And you could also find me with Transmedia, Adrian Mazzone with TMG Group. And
I'm going to put a link to his Facebook in this video, and on our video when we do a video, we're going to do that, and we'll do that. But I want to thank you, man. I had a great time here. I really did,
dude,
man.
Thanks for inviting me, bro. I really appreciate it.
I'm glad he's up here where we are, and thanks for coming. I know you're on a press tour and stuff like that, and wish you well on that. And everybody, listen, check him out. It's Picasso Vega. Jose, now he's my friend. Jose, he's a good guy. He's going to change his life. He did it, and, he wants to show that, you can even come from nothing and make it. And I think that's important in life. So everybody, please stay safe. Make good choices. And see you next time.
Don't touch anything. It's the greatest find yet. Nothing compares to it.